Thank you, Major Morris, for that recognition this morning. Amazing when you think about that which has taken place in this nation because of men and women who have said, I'll go and I'll serve. But welcome this morning. We're glad you're here at the Clearwater Corps to worship with us. As she said, this Veterans Day, this 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. Amazing, isn't it? We're glad that you're here and to worship with us. When you peruse your copy of the source, just a reminder of several things that are happening. It's that time of year when things get very busy at the Clearwater Corps. Opportunities for service and worship this week. Just a reminder, Corps cadets and young adults, you will immediately following our Holiness meeting. 6 p.m. tonight, Say It with Music. It's a salute to Generals John Gowans and John Lawson, featuring Major Sally Broughton. And so you'll want to come early and get a good seat. 6 o'clock tonight, Say It with Music. On Tuesday, 10:45, there's a combined Home League and Men's Fellowship Club meeting led by Commissioners Cooper. And the program will be entitled, It's About Time. So come and get a seat again. Come early. Next Thursday, before that though, however, at 1:30, Tuesday, the Pastoral Care Council will meet. Thursday at 2 p.m., the B&A Committee. And then on Friday, from 9:30 to 3:30, they need volunteers over at the Joy Center to help pack bags for the turkey distribution next week. And if you can help with that, the actual distribution November the 19th and 20th there at the Joy Center, and also on the 20th in Tarpon Springs. I said this was a busy week. Saturday, 7 p.m., Thanksgiving Music Festival, featuring our own Clearwater Band and songsters, along with special guests Jim and Deanna Chain, excuse me, composer, conductor, vocalist. If you have not been in the presence of Jim and Deanna, you're in for a real treat. Next Saturday, 7 o'clock. And then next Sunday, following our Holiness meeting, will be the Corps Thanksgiving dinner, and tickets are available for that in the lobby. Now, for those of you who were around yesterday, you will know that there were hundreds of people that came in this building as a part of the Home League Christmas Bazaar. And so we say kudos to Mary Ruth Hansen and all the Corps members and friends who came together to make yesterday's fundraiser for World Service, the Christmas Bazaar, such a success. Many hours were given in preparation and in the execution of the bazaar, and it would not have taken place without everyone working together. So if you had a part in yesterday's Christmas Bazaar, we're going to just invite you to stand. We'd like everybody to see how many were involved. So if you were involved yesterday, please stand. Let's give them... Now you may be wanting to hear, well, what was the result of all of that? Well, over $11,000 were raised yesterday. That's the result. And Mary Ruth, I saw someone come up and hand another envelope to you already this morning. So as she said to me, it is still coming in. So thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for those who will be served through our world services as well. Missionary tree?
Missionary tree is still going.
I've been reminded by the Home League Secretary that there's a missionary tree still in the lobby. So don't forget on your way out to take a look at that. Well, better still, maybe leave something on it, all right? Many of you will know that we recently completed a series on the names of God found in Scripture. If you're interested in a listing of these various names and ones that were discussed, you'll find a listing of them on the table just outside of the library. In addition to the 2 large restrooms just off the lobby, we're in the process of converting one of the smaller restrooms down by the youth wing, and if you were to turn and go by the band and songster room, into a family restroom. If you need to use it, it's located just down the hall from the youth wing, and there will be signs to direct you if you need it. This is something new for our Corps, something desperately needed. So if you're in need of a family restroom, it is there. Now you will see on the back page of your source a listing of those in need for prayer. And let me just remind you also, make an addition to that, for Irish wife. She was hospitalized this week placed in ICU yesterday morning. She's stabilized, hopes to return home this week, but please keep Iris in your prayers if you would during these days. That's always a pleasure to have visitors come and worship with us in Clearwater. So if this is your first time or if it's been a while since you've been here, please stand. One of our ushers will bring a mic and would like for you to introduce yourself and just tell us where you're from if you would. So if you're a visitor this morning, please stand.
Hello, good morning. Bill Alder from Wyoming with my friend Jenny. We came and celebrated my dad's wedding yesterday to Marilyn Pretty. She is now Marilyn Pretty Alder. I said, Dad, will she be a pretty after the ceremony? And he said, Bill, she's always been attractive. So congratulations to my folks. They're now at Amelia Island for their honeymoon. But I came from Wyoming for that special event and to be here also for this special gathering. And brought my friend Jenny from Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah, good to have you.
Good morning. My name is Rodney Wookman. I'm from right here in Clearwater, Florida.
Amen. Good.
Good morning. Majors Larry and Jean Manzella, and we are visiting from the Detroit, Southeast Michigan ARC, where we currently serve as the administrators.
Amen. Let's give our visitors a welcome this morning, all right? Whenever you're in the area, we'd invite you back, and for those who live here, we'd invite you to be a part of this community of believers.
And on this Women's Sunday, we are so glad to have Colonel Susan Bukiewicz with us. She will be bringing the word today and sharing with us. Her husband, go ahead and stand up where you are. And thank you. We're so glad to have her here. I'll tell you a little bit about her in just a minute. And she said, can my husband come along? I said, absolutely.
Well, he asked if he could come.
We absolutely wanted both of you to come. So, Colonel Ralph, we're glad to have you here as well. Let's greet them. And now, I don't know if I'm going to get through this introduction with the bio, because there's an awful lot of mention in here of the Central Territory, of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Let me just put this all out here right now. You're going to hear Chicago, Grand Rapids, Western Michigan, Northern Indiana. So those of us from those kinds of places, we'll be very excited to hear this information. But we all, no matter where we're from, welcome you today. Colonel Susan began her appointment as the Territorial Secretary for Women's Ministries in the Southern Territory after serving as Officer Resource and Development Secretary for the Central Territory. And prior to that appointment, Colonels Bukiewicz served as the divisional leaders in the Metropolitan and the Western Michigan and Northern Indiana divisions. So you're talking about Chicago there and also the Grand Rapids area, Michigan. Colonel Susan was commissioned, ordained in the Salvation Army in 1981. Colonels Bukiewicz ministered as corps officers in several communities throughout Illinois. And then as Genesee County Commander and Citadel Corps officers in Flint, Michigan. Anybody from Flint out there? I hear some rumblings. I knew it. They've also served as Divisional Youth and Candidate Secretary for the Midland and Eastern Michigan divisions, and as the Territorial Youth Secretary in the Central Territory. And then as Territorial Community Relations and Development Secretaries, they both coordinated major fundraising and public relations, emergency disaster services, worked in that area, publications, and many projects with the Salvation Army throughout the central part of the United States. Ralph and Susan, colonels, have traveled extensively, 29 different countries, and ministered on 5 continents. And the Bukiewicz family have 2 adult children, Jillian and Jonathan. I'll bet you have pictures. Oh, yes. Okay, so if you see them afterwards, asking for pictures. Their ministry also extends to the 3rd generation, through their grandchildren, Chloe, Milo, and Roman. Her ministry opportunities with the Salvation Army have been far and wide, and we are so privileged that ministry now has brought them to Clearwater, Florida. Welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here.